How can you invest and make money in today's real estate market? Welcome to the Successful Investor Show, where we talk with successful real estate investors, business owners, and busy professionals on their journey to wealth. They share their best ways and advice to make massive gains in today's market. Make sure you are subscribed so you never miss an episode. Now, here is your host, Doron Nissim.
Welcome everyone to the Successful Investor Show, where we talk about how to passively invest and create passive income and generational wealth without doing all the work. I'm your host, Doron Nissim, and today I have the pleasure to welcome our guest, Frank Patalano. Hi, how you doing, brother?
Not too bad, not too bad. Having another good day.
Great. So Frank was started as a school teacher right out of college, and he grew his saving and started to invest in single-family houses, about two at a time or one or two, and decided to move to multifamily, bigger properties, commercial properties. And now he's full-time investor, investing in commercial properties. He's involved in 9 markets across the U.S. Amazing. He's have amazing experience in single-family houses, commercial, multifamily rentals, and also hard money lending, which we're going to talk about it soon. Also new construction and fix and flips. He has 3 businesses where he does syndications, virtual assistant, and he owns a boutique hotel. Wow. So tell us all about it, Frank. It's amazing.
Go do something in my free time.
Wow. Amazing.
So I started out basically going to college like everybody else does. My dad told me to go get a safe, secure job, and I decided that teaching was the way to go. So I got my degree in school teaching. I did some subbing, and then I became a full-time school teacher. But in the background, I always had this love of business, entrepreneurship, real estate, etc. So over time, what happens? You start to generate some money. My wife and I were both working, and the average person, what could they do with it? They could just blow it all and have a nice vacation.
Spend it.
Yeah, they could buy another house and buy a bigger house and buy a bigger house. A new car every 2 years, stuff like that. But what we decided to do is we decided to invest it, and I tried a little bit of stocks and lost some money on that. And I found real estate was one of those real nice places to be. You were able to leverage money, you were able to get tax benefits, and you even if you didn't have all your money in, you were able to generate most of the time cash flow. If not every month, at least more often than most other businesses, without putting in a lot of work. So that was basically how I got started.
Right. Also, the good thing about real estate, you don't have to put 100% of the money.
Right. Yeah, that leverage concept is awesome.
Right. Exactly. You don't have it in stocks and other financial instruments. So that's amazing. That's amazing that you were able to save and start investing in real estate as a school teacher, which is, I bet, is a very hard job.
Well, most people live up to their standards. Most people keep trying to keep up with the Joneses. So I play a board game with my kids called Cash Flow 101, Robert Kiyosaki, the Rich Dad series.
Love that game.
And it's a great game. And you could have any job and still make it happen and become successful with passive income. And he purposely has you pick anything from a janitor to a school teacher to a lawyer. There's a lot of different things, and you're setting what you want to spend your money on.
Right. It's a good game to play and learn. Yeah. So tell us, did you have in your experience, in your journey, did you have any kind of like a aha moment that you said, this is what I want to do?
I wouldn't necessarily say I had an aha moment. I would say that one of the big things I always talk about is having a backup plan. Mm-hmm. So while I love teaching, it's a grueling job. There's benefits, there's good things, there's bad things to it. And because I was able to build my own real estate portfolio, once I got really tired of it, and, sick and tired of work like some people do, I was able to leave that job. And I
Yeah.
was able to work on other businesses full time if I want, or if I need to take a couple of days off, that's perfectly fine as well.
Right. Right. So it was like when you see money coming in, you don't have to wake up to work.
Right. As an entrepreneur, I want to be successful. So you do get up and you do things, but at the same point, it's a lot easier to say, hey, listen, let's take a day off. Let's go on vacation. Let's go somewhere and do something.
That's amazing. That's amazing. So, what's the most successful deal you haven't made so far?
Ooh, I mean, I've been very lucky. I've had a number of good deals. I would say one of them was that I picked up a foreclosure, a two-family. I bought it for just under $50,000. I did put some work into it, but right now that property is worth probably $400,000.
Wow.
And we
That's
have it. We still own it. It's fully rented. Right now we have a hard money loan against it because we bought something else with the money and didn't have the time to really go through the whole process of getting another traditional loan with it.
hmm
But yeah, it's a great property. I plan on keeping my portfolio for a long time. It's walking distance to a local college. We don't have a lot of college kids in it, but we do have most of the time, I think we have a 20-something crowd. I mean, to be honest with you, I don't manage it, so it's all professionally property managed. I have driven by it twice in the last year. Besides that, and it's a beautiful property. So that was
that's
probably one of my most successful deals.
that's great. I mean, you bought it for 50,000. You put some money to fix it. It worth much more today. You borrow money against it and bought other properties, which is
Yep,
amazing. That's the power of real estate. It's amazing.
definitely. And right now, even right now, that property is probably less than 50% loan to value.
Wow. Wow. So it's worth much more. So you can even borrow more money and buy more real estate.
If the right deal becomes available, we could.
Right. So, in today's market, everybody's talking about recession, market going down, going up, all kind of stuff. They always talk about it. But I want to ask you, what are the things that you do to mitigate risk in your business?
On the real estate side, the main thing I would say is do not over leverage yourself. So, I
Okay.
mean, don't get me wrong. There's been deals that I've borrowed 100% and did a quick flip. And we actually borrowed more than 100% because we actually borrowed the money to put in the rehab.
hmm
But that would be rare, I would say. And with that being said, I had other properties at the same time that I had no mortgage on. So across my whole portfolio, I wasn't as highly leveraged as that one deal would make it seem. But sometimes, you can take some risks. And with those risks, you got to be willing to have some losses as well. And we've definitely lost money on a deal here or there before. But I would say that we're batting more than 500. So it's doing pretty good.
Right.
And yeah, so how do I mitigate risk? Number one, have knowledge of the market. Number two, get a good deal. And number three, have low loan to values.
Yeah. Those are great points. Yeah, exactly. So now we're moving to the final round where I'm going to ask you 4 success questions that you're going to help our viewers to be more successful. So do you have any kind like success habits that you do?
When I say habits, let me think about it for a second. Some people might not consider these habits, but I'll still talk about a few of them.
Right.
First one is whether it's in business or in life itself, one of the main things you should be doing is building relationships. So I have people that I know in the real estate industry and entrepreneurs that are very transactional. Okay. They only care about want to get a deal done, move on, get the next deal done, stuff like that. I would say that my life is very much more relationship based. There are people that I know that I might not have done a deal with them in the first 2 or 3 years of me knowing them. And it's a good way to pick partners though as well, because you get to know people. And at some point or another, you have a good situation going on and they need a partner and they bring you in and you close the deal together and you own it. So I have a few properties like that where I did not even necessarily find the deal, but they needed a little bit of help making the deal happen or making the deal close. And it allowed me to have partnerships over time. It's a more of a long-term approach. So that would be one habit that I would consider a
Love
successful
it.
habit. Another thing is do something to move your business forward each and every day. So while I say be relationship and not transactional, you can also be considering your business and going out there and even making a post on social media or talking to two or three people that might need the help of one of your businesses. It's about doing something small, even if you're working a full-time job, doing something small each and every day, just to keep
Yeah.
moving your businesses
The
forward.
1% a day. I love that.
There you go. So, I mean, I think off the top of my head, I can only think of two, but I think both of those are pretty good ones. So,
I love it. I mean, building relationship is amazing. You never know who you're going to meet and how you can help them, or maybe they can help you in the future. It's amazing. And some people think that, oh, I don't need anybody. I can do this business. It's my business. But you never know. I mean, so building relationship is amazing.
Oh, yeah, no. Investing is very much a team sport.
Right.
People forget most of life is very much a team sport. I did not have a big family when I was younger, but with friendships and everything else, I have some friends that, I mean, not every family's perfect, but I have some friends that have very much used their family and they work with each other and they've built big businesses because of it.
Right.
And if you don't have that family, you can still, what's a bunch of friends? It's a family. You get to pick your own.
Exactly.
So, well, that's just another way.
I love it. I love it. Do you have any like a book that you can recommend for people to read?
Some books on success that I recommend or I'm reading right now. So one that I recommend. So I was a school teacher for 17 years, and they actually had us teach a class to just help the kids be more mindful and think about things. It was like a short class, like one day a week. And what they had us do is they had us read a book that I still love the book. And there's an adult version, there's a kids version. I read to my kids at school The 7 Habits of Highly Effective Teens by Sean Covey. And they have the adult version written by Stephen, The 7 Habits of Highly Effective People.
Yeah.
And I think that's a great book that if you really want to get started on something, that's a great book to read through. The book that I'm reading right now is Can't Hurt Me by David Goggins.
Okay.
I don't know. Some people might not consider it just about success because he talks a lot about his failures, but it's about that grit and that working hard. And geez, when I said grit, that's another great book. There's a book called Grit. I can't remember who the author was, but I hope that my kids get a little bit of grit in their life and just being able to grow without anything else.
Yeah.
It's the power of perseverance.
Yeah, these days everybody wants the fast, to be successful. Today, everything today. But it's about the failures. The more failures you have, the more successful you're gonna be.
Yeah,
I
so
love
falling
that.
forward, etc. Like I
Yeah.
said before, have I lost money on deals? Yes. Does it happen too often? No. But I'm one of
You
those
learn.
people that have a strange philosophy that if you have not failed at all in your life, then you aren't pushing yourself hard enough.
Right.
Because
Exactly.
sometimes it might take a while, but if you have a small failure, think about how much further you've come because of it.
Yeah. Yeah. Only when you go down, then it's how is it to go up. So do you have any resources that you use for your businesses? I know you have a virtual assistant business. So
Yeah.
can you tell us about that? It's a resource, basically.
Yeah, so I'll talk about the virtual assistant. I'll tell you what. I'll talk about what I consider the most important resource first, and then I'll talk about the VA business, which links into it. The biggest resource that everybody has today is the power of social media. Okay, whether it's this podcast or Facebook or Instagram or TikTok or whatever, it allows you to really get out there. Now, I'm not saying everybody has to work it a certain way or be super popular out there. Some people are a little more of a private life. But at the same point, social media can open doors for you that people weren't able to do any other way years and years ago. Okay, so I mean, I have thousands of Facebook friends right now and over 10,000 Instagram followers, stuff like that. We're
Amazing.
able to provide knowledge and education a few times a week, if not more, sometimes every day, depending on what we see and what we're doing. So it's a great way to build connections.
Yeah.
I mean, shoot, I had a person loan me 6 figures on a personal loan, someone that I met on social media,
Amazing.
for a deal that we did. Yeah, and going with the virtual assistant business. So especially if your listeners are big on working crazy hours, if they have a full-time job, you can start something small where you can start with a part-time helper, great in English, have certain skills. You can basically hire someone for minimum wage or less from another part of the world. They'll be able to help you part-time and full-time in your business.
Right.
So with that being said, if they just listen to the audio, our main virtual assistant business is called Real Agent Helper. And we also own Real Estate Helper, if you forget. But basically, we help people who need administrative assistance. We help people that need social media support. And we help people just with bookkeeping.
Right. So realagenthelper.com, that company can help you grow your business, basically. And if you don't like social media, a lot of people don't like social media, but it's an amazing tool. And if you don't like it, a virtual assistant can do the work for you.
They can definitely do the work for you. And if you think about it, one of the things you can do is you can build your own brand. So the brand doesn't have to be your name.
Right.
So, I mean, technically, when you look at this name, you don't see anywhere my name in that. We just offer real help for real estate and more, So with that being said, if you don't want to be your own persona, you can have a brand that's separate from you. I have a pair of friends that call themselves the Stealthy Rich out of Texas. And they don't even give their real names anywhere. I traded shirts with them at the one point.
That's good.
They're just a fun group that's like 25,000 followers on Instagram, stuff like that.
Wow. Amazing. It's all through virtual assistant. So can you give us some tips about how to make money today in real estate or in business? A lot of people that they're interested in a side hustle, a second thing, or something that they can bring more income.
Definitely. So number one, the main thing is don't look at anything that's get rich quick. Okay. You have to be honest. I mean, can you make money quickly? Yes, but the average person's not going to. Usually it's just some kind of slick wheel and deal and you're going to lose money.
Right.
It takes work. I mean, if this was super easy, then everybody would be doing it.
Exactly.
Okay. It is hard work, but that doesn't mean it's not fruitful work. That doesn't mean you shouldn't be doing it. Just like if you want to lose weight, you got to put in the work. So with that being said, let's see some tips. Number one, if you do not own your own house right now, I suggest house hacking your first multifamily. A small triplex or quad, even a duplex. If you can't do that in your market, even if you buy a single family and rent out a few of the extra bedrooms, it'll teach you a little bit about property management. It will help you have your own little starter business to start, and you need a place to live anyway. So,
love it.
What part of the country do you live in?
I live in South Florida.
Okay, so near Miami?
Yeah, 40 minutes.
Nice. So awesome. So I mean, you might just start with a single family. If you can get a 3-bedroom or 4-bedroom single family, you can find friends and rent the other bedrooms too. Right. Okay, you start to get the benefits of real estate while you're owning the place you live. So it's a great way to get started.
Love it.
That's a money-making tip. Another one, like I said already, build a brand or a business. We started the virtual assistant business with small money. We started with a couple clients. We found a few people that were good workers, and we made it happen. Okay, and I still do the business part-time. Few hours here or there, nothing crazy. It's about networking and relationships. We barely even advertise. Everything's through word of mouth. We pay our clients to find us more clients. If they give a referral, we give them money. So it works out for everybody, and we don't have to go big time on the spending of ads. Right. Because let's be honest, I mean, people will work with you because they know you, they like you, they trust you. So
those are the three things.
Yeah. So if you have someone that uses our business already and they recommend us to you, you're more likely to do it than seeing some advertisement online that we paid $45 to see 2 minutes of.
Right.
Let's see, another money-making tip, especially in the social media front. Not saying you can do it all the time, but make sure that you're a creator and not just a consumer. So whether it's you doing this podcast, I mean, we have a podcast called The Cash Flow Kings. We're out there every day with social media. There are people that come up to me that I've never met before and said, hey, I listen to your podcast. which is really awesome. And like I said, if you're a creator, then people look at you in a different light. They're like, wow, he's really doing all this stuff. No, at the same point, not everything's perfect on social media. Do I have failures once in a while? Absolutely. Some people use social media as just a highlight reel, but if you don't use it just as a highlight reel, people really get to know you.
Yeah.
And it's worth its weight in gold over time. I was on the airplane the last airplane trip that I took. Someone actually sat next to me and said, "Hey, can we talk about real estate? I know I follow you on social media," and it was great. We got to talk for it was just a connector, so we talked for just over an hour. It was him and his wife. His wife was so excited to meet me in person. He listened to all the podcasts and stuff like that. So
that's amazing. So
yeah, good.
So we have house hacking, we have social media, and we have networking.
Yeah, definitely. And by the way, last thing, have a backup plan. So one of the big things, how was I able to be successful? I didn't just start out in real estate, though I probably could have been successful straight out. I used it as a side hustle. I gradually built things over time. So yeah, have a backup plan.
Backup plan. Love it. Those are great tips, and I'm sure people will enjoy them. The last question of the day, I promise. So people that have full-time job, they either have full business or they're professionals, lawyers, attorneys, CPAs. They have full-time job, but they still want to invest in real estate. What can you tell them that they can do today to invest and make money?
So there's a couple different things you could do. I mean, for example, I own a syndication brand. So what you can do is you can find people like me who raise funds from different investors that just want to be passive. If they don't want to put in the work and the time, but they have money, that's one way to invest. Okay. At the same point, if you want to get a little more active, I would say join a local group. So if you're into real estate, join your local RIA, your Real Estate Investor Association. I run my local one. We have over 500 members.
Wow.
By the way, paying members too.
Wow.
So
amazing.
Usually we have about 85 to 100 that show up to each and every meeting, and we make sure we give knowledge, we give networking, etc. But besides that, everything else, you and I know sometimes for some people it's just an excuse. When I was working the hardest, I had 17 mortgages. I was working 5 days a week full-time. I was working 5 nights and weekends a week part-time. My kids were in scouts. I was coaching a sport. I had other family obligations, and I was still trying to do real estate on the side as well. So I don't want to hear it. I mean, think about it. If you really want to do it, you will get it done no matter what. I know plenty of people that spend hours and hours every single week watching sports. And if that's what you want to do, fine. But I just don't want you to use that as an excuse for not being able to be what you want to be. I know people that are gamers. I'm a little bit of a gamer. I know people that play video games 3 hours a day, each and every day. You shave an hour a day off of that, you could either be super fit or you can be a millionaire real estate investor.
I love it. It's a good thing to get educated. Whatever you like, is get educated, and then you see that you have the time to do it.
Yeah, well, another thing you can do is set some goals, but not just pie in the sky dreams, but set some goals you can build some habits around and have those habits go through each and every day. Where you're going to spend 10 minutes a day on social media, 30 minutes a day reading a book, stuff like that. Even if you're doing it as you're driving to work, you could listen to it.
Right.
Listen to podcasts, YouTube University, stuff like that.
Yeah. I love it. Those are really great points, and it's a really great advice from you for the busy professional that wants to invest and make some passive cash flow. So it was great. It was great having you. I'm sure our viewers and listeners will get a tremendous knowledge from this podcast. I look forward to connect with you more.
Yeah, thanks. I mean, if people are looking to talk to me, I'm all over social media, either through the Cashflow Kings or Real Agent Helper, Facebook, Instagram, Frank Patalano, stuff like that. I'm out there. Always want to talk to people. I have networking meetings each and every day because I love to chat.
That's great. So Frank is open for all your questions and everything. He want to help you guys. So thank you so much, Frank.
Thank you, sir.
Bye-bye.
Thank you so much for listening to this episode of the Successful Investor Show. If you're enjoying this podcast, please feel free to rate, subscribe, and leave a review wherever you listen to your podcasts. That helps others find the show, and we greatly appreciate it. Once again, thank you for tuning in, and we hope you'll join us on the next episode of The Successful Investor Show.